All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. All right. Let's make sure this is recording. Yeah, okay. As we see, um, you know, paying attention to the times and the motion of things in this system, we know that this system is closing out, but the most important prophecy that we're waiting upon um, is the implementation of that Charagma. As you see, it says mark of the beast. um, we see this chip in these people hands. We see these chips in these on this man fingertips right here. As we can see, it's the size of a grain of rice, you know, um, compared to its size, compared to this dime and so forth. The scriptures speak of all these things to come. And we're going to go there because now we need to know why it's important to refrain from this device. Those of us that are Israelites, those of us that subscribe to the truth, that follow the truth, we already know, from the teachings of the apostles on down, that Charagma is going to be this device here. You know what I'm saying? So we preparing ourselves for when society decides to implement it, to go forth about it. All right, I'm gonna start at in Revelations chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." All right, and who is he that received that power? That is Esau. It's Esau Edom. And Esau is he's in charge. You know what I'm saying? These Edomites and these European nations and so forth, they're all together, all except for Russia. They're all together, and what they're doing is they're making their devices convenient in your everyday markets and so forth, and yet to accept this chip to get you in the mindset of one touching things. You know what I'm saying? You put the chip in your hand, as you see right here in the guy's in his hand. You know what I'm saying? You put the chip in your hand or scan it in your forehead or whatever with the Neuralink and whatever they plan on doing. You see the dude look like a zombie, but they want to make it seem like it's convenient and so forth. But it may be convenient for you right now, but in the long run, when that system fails and it goes haywire, ain't no telling what's being released in your body, because all of this technology has to run off the radio frequencies and so forth. But the European nations that's given this power, they're the ones that's in control of the European Union, the NATO nations, and so forth. They have power right now, and they have power to go forth and destroy the earth and pillage the earth, and through fear tactics and scare tactics, they cause other nations and so forth to follow them. You know what I'm saying? It's not a righteous rulership. It's not a righteous government. It's all done by deceit and lies. But to stay on track, all right, if you do not worship this image, meaning bow down, and the image is the way and the life of this place, homosexuality and all this goofy shit. But when it comes down to this chip, If you do not accept this chip as the new currency, new way of life, you're gonna be killed. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be hunted. You're gonna be killed. You're gonna be put in concentration camps or so-called re-education centers, and you're gonna be dealt with accordingly. Meaning you're gonna be put to death. All right. So if that brings fear to you, you need to be inspired by that fear and put your fear in Yahweh, because He's the one who these are His words coming into action, and His actions are being presented of what's to come by the prophets. You see what I'm saying? The prophets are in your land. Hey, they're here to tell you, thus says the Lord. They're here to tell you the destruction of the heathens and what's to come about after nuclear thermal destruction. And they're also here to tell the destruction of the 2/3 and the beginning of the nation. It's first starting with the 144,000 out of the elect of who's to rule the planet in the universe under our King Yahweh Shai and with our King Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? All those that are of the elect that don't take this chip, hey man, y'all can be y'all know y'all gonna be the first in the kingdom. Those that die for Yahweh Shai, and the Father on this side, proclaiming this kingdom message, you're gonna be first up in those chariots. You know what I'm saying? When Yahweh Shai come back, you're gonna be the first to transform or transition into those heavenly bodies. You know what I'm saying? All right. Verse 16, Revelation 13, verse 16, it says, and He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. All right. So we're going to go, we're going to get an understanding of that word mark, right? We're going to get an understanding of that word mark, to receive a mark, right? And we want to get the understanding of words while we're learning how to read the Bible and so forth, because that gives a great understanding. It is you're doing yourself a disservice just to read the scriptures and not break down any type of literature, any type of study. It's important for you to break down the words so that you may have a clear understanding. But especially the Bible, it's made for such learning. All right. This is Mark in the Bible. So when you click on Mark, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the whole understanding for those that don't know. All right. Start at verse 16 again. It's Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and He calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. When you're utilizing the blue letter Bible, you just click the word and go to interlinear. All right. And you go up or down, depending on how you're using it, till you find the word that you're looking for. And this word is mark. And we click on mark, and then we click on the Strong's definition, or the Strong's number first, and it's G5480. All right, and it's pronounced
Strong's G5480, Charagma,
or Charagma. All right, it says a stamp or an implanted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. We know it's not actual Antichrist. There's many, as the scriptures say, many Antichrists. You know what I'm saying? But this is Esau, Edom. This is followers of his system. You're going to be a slave to his system, or you want to be a slave of this system. You want to follow your oppressor. All right. B says the mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. All right. And that charagma is that mark. It's going to be that implanted mark that goes under the skin. But just to go a little bit further in the understanding of the word charagma, right? You have karax, okay?
Strong's G 5482. Charax.
Okay.
Charax.
Karax, okay, it says a pale or stake, a palisade. All right. We go to Strong's definition. Karax, karaso, to sharpen to a point, right? All right. And when you sharpen something to a point, it's either to be able to stick it, like a big boulder or something, to stick it into the ground, to impale something, right? Okay. It says to sharpen to a point. So then when we go even further into the understanding, it goes to the Greek word grapho, right?
Strong's G 1125. Grapho. Grapho.
Okay, and grapho meaning to write with reference to the form of letters. All right, I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. Because it is, okay, here it is, Strong's definition. It says primary verb to grave, right? Especially to write, figuratively to describe. So you're describing something. You're putting something under your skin, like as this meaning, but more so to grave, right? We know that when we engrave, we're writing something into a material, right? It says to write with reference to the contents of the writing, to express in written characters. All right. To fill with writing and so forth. All right. So what we know is that karax is to sharpen to a point, right? So all of that coming in line with the main word of all that put together is charagma. Okay, it's to stamp, as the part B says, to mark branded upon horses, or the part 2 says thing carved, sculpted, graven work. All right. What you have on plantations and so forth, or even you look in pastures today, you see cows, they may have a tag on their ear, right? Or they may have a burn mark like they used to do back in the day. I don't know if they still do that, but they used to burn individuals like their slaves or whatever. They would burn them, and it'll have their owner's mark on them, or they'll have a certain type of earring or awl or something of that nature. And it was for identifying who this person belonged to. All right. Some after a certain amount of time of servitude, the slave could go home or whatever the case. Or in prisons you wear certain suits, certain colors. You have a identification number and so forth. All these different things. All right, but the scriptures also speak on the slave that wants to stay with his master, and there's certain things that he had to do. All right, so I'm gonna get into that now. This is Exodus 21, and I'm gonna start off. I'm going to start off from the jump. It says, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. Okay, so if he came into servitude by himself. He would leave out by himself. All right, it says, if he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. Okay. If he was married before he went out, then that woman would go out with him. As you come in is as you leave. All right. Verse 4 says, if his master has given him a wife, meaning he didn't come in with that wife, but his master had given him a wife. It says, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. You came in as you leave, or you leave as you came in. If his master had given him a wife, and that wife had bore him children, hey, those children and that woman belongs to the master. Why? Because you came here to work for the master. Now you're leaving with the master's assets. He gave you a wife. He gave you, now through your wife, you have children and so forth. Hey, that's two individuals that's on this man's property that's gonna be going now. You know what I'm saying? Actually three, because you are you made the third. All right. So if you came in by yourself, you would have leave by yourself. All right, verse 5, it says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. All right. So that woman that you met, you had children through, and when you was a servant, you say, yo, I love her. I don't want to leave her. These kids, these my babies. Hey, you can go up to your master, say, hey, master, I want to continuously be your servant, this and that forevermore. Hey, man, my freedom is not worth it. I'd rather be in servitude and have all the comforts of what you provide me than say the hell with this bitch and the hell with these kids and go and goddamn stay in servitude to you so I can have me some box and I can have, some kids that you decide whatever the fuck you want to. But for those that want to stay, hey, this is the Most High has given you an action of what's to follow. So the master will bring that servant in front of the judges to make it an actual pending document or arrangement or whatever. All right. Then what happens is the master bore his servant's ear with an awl, right? And I'm gonna get that awl. Cause ain't no man wanna give up his freedom for no box. I don't care what you talking about. All it says, the awl is a boring instrument, meaning it bores through flesh. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it really has too much more to that other than what that is already. When you look up the term all, all right, you see this hammer and this rod here. That rod is the awl. You see what I'm saying? These are what awls are. This is what you would use see this guy, this slave to the right, he's in pain, but he's getting his ears pierced because he doesn't want to be a free man. You see what I'm saying? And as you can read it in the passage here, it says, "My ears have been pierced," Psalms 40:6. "But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and children and do not want to go free, then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door or the doorpost and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be his servant for life." All right. So to go back into the book of Revelations, where all of this comes together, Revelations 13, right? Let me start at verse 16. This is for your edifications, for your understanding, why you should not get this goddamn chip in your flesh, man. It says, and he causes, this is Revelation 13, verse 16, it says, "And he causes all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." All right. "That no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." All right. Doesn't matter if you rich, poor, celebrity, whoever you want to be. When there is no more physical money in your bank account, when there is no more, you can just go to the store and buy whatever you want with your debit card, because your debit card gonna be closed out too. Why? Because you must accept this Charagma. You must accept this mark, this engraving of your flesh. All right. Um, and we matter of fact, I'm gonna get Leviticus right quick. Leviticus 19 tells you as an Israelite, you're not supposed to even get engravings or cuttings into your flesh. All right, this is Leviticus 19 and 28. It says, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. All right, you shall not do any of these things, because these are not our customs, cutting up of our flesh and so forth. No, these are not our customs. So if you're in any type of heathen society that requires you as an Israelite to do these things, you are to deny it. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, Christians will tell you, "Oh, we supposed to do what the government tell us." The scriptures say, "Give unto Caesar what's Caesar's." Yeah, okay, but it's not saying give up your body as that sacrifice unto Caesar. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to give our body as a living sacrifice unto Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Holy and acceptable. And we will be unacceptable if we accept this mark. But it's gonna get to that later. I'm gonna bring that out, Lord, where the Spirit's gonna bring that out. All right. And it says, no man might buy or sell, save you have this mark, whether it's that Neuralink or whatever they're trying to do with that, or this implementation under the skin. There's different ways that they're trying to test out, whether in the shape of the grain of rice, something that goes in your actual forehead, dealing with the Neuralink or whatever. Different types of tattoo styles or whatever the case may be, man. However they try to finesse you out of your understanding of what it is. If you accept any type of device that's gonna have your credit information, it's gonna give you a social credit score, you know, based upon your actions and so forth. Based upon your actions, what you're going to be allowed to have. It's going to have your finances. It's not going to be any physical finances that you can just go to an ATM, take out $20. That would be completely over. It's going to be this digital currency. You know what I'm saying? Given up by these CBDCs, credit banking, central banking digital currency. You know what I'm saying? These groups, these individuals that have no, they're not even part of the government, man. But they're part of this new world order. These so-called elite organizations to cause things to happen as they do. You know what I'm saying? So if this is what is meaning by bowing down to that image and so forth. You accept that. You accept it. You accept the culture, the way of these wicked societies, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's in going into verse 18. It says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six." You know what I'm saying? If you accept that chip, if you say, "Oh, I need this to survive and do this," and hey man, you're not willing to give up these things on this side to you're not willing to give up these things for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, hey man, you destroyed anyway because you find comfort in this oppressor. All right. So to get into that, that 666, that 603 score and six is high, psi sigma. You know what I'm saying? When we look into that, we can go into the interlinear. That may give us a little understanding on that. All right. And this is
Strong's G 5516. Chi, Xi, Stigma. Chi, Xi, Stigma.
all right. High side stigma. All right. This is going into that that number of that beast. That 666. That 606. So like 666. 600 is Chi, meaning mark. Psi is 60, meaning print, and stigma, meaning six, means to cut. So when we go into the very first understanding, let me see what this is right here. Stigma. Okay. Now there it is. A brand upon the body. A mark pricked. You see what I'm saying? That sigma meaning to cut, or stigma meaning to cut. You see what I'm saying? It's branded into your body, man. So when you go back to the verse 16, when it goes into that term mark, that's what it's talking about, man. Mark. A stamp, an imprinted mark, right? Or of the mark stamped of the on the forehead or in the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right. An engraven mark thing called sculptured, a mark branded onto horses, and that's what y'all gonna be. Y'all gonna be horses. Y'all gonna be these slave ass work horses, man. And you think that you doing something because your little time, you able to get some food from Esau and so forth. All right, well, that day gonna come that you gonna regret that had you ever took that Charagma, or whatever convenience this dog ass nigga can give you. This is Revelations 14:9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstones in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb." All right, these are the things that's going to happen to you if you accept that chip. I'm read it again. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, if you bow down to this system by any means necessary in that day, your rebellion is going to be you accepting that chip. You know what I'm saying? You're going to say, oh, I want to get out of these torments and these straits and just go have some clean running water. I want to have this. I want to have a steak dinner. I want to have whatever it's going to be, man. I want to have some clean drawers on. You going to trade them clean drawers and get that chip, and then you can get destroyed. He says, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. All right. Doesn't matter. If you receive that chip by tattoo, by anything that requires you understanding that this is going to be a device from a government agency that's going to be embedded into your flesh. All right. It says this, verse 10 says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, man. These things are gonna, like, all your sins are gonna be leashed out upon you at one time with the Lord's wrath. It just is what it is, because you don't have no cloak for your sins, man. You deny, if you're an Israelite, all them sins that you committed, that you haven't been paid back for from the beginning of your existence to right now. And I'm not talking about your existence as this human. I'm talking about who you are in the spirit to the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Hey, you can get destroyed, man. You can get destroyed. You can get burnt up. You can get burnt up with them nuclear thermal missiles. That's what this is talking about. It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Them fire and brimstone is them nuclear thermal missiles, man, that's coming down, that's being shot over from Russia, that's being shot from Iran, from North Korea, and so forth. All of these places that are in war with this mystery Babylon, you know what I'm saying? With this great whore, man, which is America, man, it's gonna be destroyed by them fire and them fire from them nuclear thermal missiles and them laser beams coming from them chariots. And if you think that that's what you want, then go by, and then by all means, man, go ahead and accept that. But this is what the scriptures say. Verse 11, it says, and the smoke of their torment. As far as you want to accept that chip, you want to be rebellious, listen to this. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. That means you going to get burnt the fuck up, man. Your ass is burnt up, point blank, period. In the wrath of the Most High is in the fire of those, or in the fire of those missiles, man. His anger is going to be bestowed upon you through those missiles, man. The fire of those missiles, man. That's going to be a spiritual fire, man. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. That's not a literal forever and ever, but we know the Most High, he created time. So hey, he can make the scriptures talk about how this America is going to be destroyed in an hour. Okay. So that time frame that you're getting hit with them missiles, man, 10 seconds in the flesh, the Most High can make that endure for however long he wants to. You know what I'm saying? For your judgment. It is what it is. You've been warned time and time again. You've been warned every lifetime, every life cycle you come back here. You were fortunate enough to come around the prophet, man. You never listen. You don't listen now, you won't listen now. So it's justified when the Most High come and hit you with how his son hit you with that wrath. You know what I'm saying? Have his angels hit you with them chariots, man. Hit them beams from them chariots. You know what I'm saying? So Let me find this one. Um, Fervent heat. All right. This says 2 Peter 3:10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Man, with fervent heat. The elements is the earth. So what y'all got to say to that? Y'all gonna go suck that chip, but you don't know the wrath becoming behind that chip is the earth melting, man. Portions of the earth melting because because y'all accepting that chip. Y'all in wrath of the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, "And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up." Come on, man. Look at this. 2 Peter 3:12. It says, "Looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being of fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Man, that's a great heat, and that's what's coming to all y'all that accept that Charagma. All right, this is y'all here. You see, and this man on the left with the stripes, hey, that's Esau. And this right here, this you, except for your ass gonna be on fire. You know what I mean? You want to get out to a situation so fast that you willing to accept your enemy's his trickery, man. But nah. Ain't nobody doing that, man. Look at this image right here. It's a chip, you know. This is a microchip right there. See what I'm saying? Charagma. I guess is a movie coming out, or came out whenever. That's the chip right there, man. What the fuck else you need to see? Charagma. Look at this dark ass nigga, man. Look, 666. So, what it says, Charagma, the dark days are here. You damn right they here. And that nigga, look at the car and everything burning up behind him and shit. Yeah, and 666. That's them motherfucking them Gurkha troops. Niggas gonna be like that. They be kicking in your door. They don't belong to no government agency or nothing. These niggas, they will not belong to a government agency, man. When them niggas come kicking in your doors, you will not have no what's the word? Constitutional rights and all that bullshit. When these niggas come in your door, when you see them army tanks and so forth, yo, they blowing your doors down, they snatching you out, they taking them military K-bars and them 3-foot knives them niggas be rocking, and they chopping your ass up in pieces, man. Yeah. Why? Because that Charagma right there, you finna get bit by that serpent, man. Cause of this right here, man. This microchip and all that shit finna be in your flesh. It's gonna contain all your medical information, everything, your doctors and all of that shit, man. Where you from, where you work at, all of that shit. Your boss gonna make you have it, man. Y'all better prepare yourselves and get the fuck out of that wicked ass mindset, man. Say fuck that nigga. Look at this image right here, man. See? All your shit, your money, your passport, all of that, your identification, all of that is going to be in that chip. You see? The implementation right here, it's going to go through your skin. But at the bottom, that's a all. That's what that all was back in the day. You see what I'm saying? See? This tattoo that's going into Leviticus 19:28, where it says we are not to do this. So, hey, hopefully this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Bashem Rakaha Kudas. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone. Shalom to the elect.